Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 22nd of October 2023. Today's video is Gaza and the curse of Islam. In the beginning, my condolences to those who perished in that nonsense that it's happening in Israel and Gaza, to those who perished, and I'm sorry for those who are suffering, whether they are Israelis or Palestinians, especially the innocent people who have nothing to do with that conflict. Okay. Gaza and the curse of Islam. The problem in the Middle East, so many people actually are not aware of it because it's faraway land and has nothing to do with me. It's in many ways it's true. I mean, am I supposed to worry about Dominican Republic and Chile and all countries in the world? No, they have their problems. They deal with it. However, this is really a different problem because it can reach us here. It can cause World War III. Ukraine, I really don't care so much. I mean, not about the people who are suffering, but people been fighting since the beginning of history. And okay, you are fighting, fight your fight. I'm sorry. However, this is a different fight. And coming from Egypt, it has impact on me directly too. And I'm going to try to explain what's going on. I know that Muslims believe that prophets and messengers are they don't make any mistakes. Never mind sin. They are perfect people. They don't make any mistakes. I think this is coming because if you admit that they make mistakes, then you would open the books and see what kind of mistakes Muhammad did, and it would be very embarrassing. Now, I believe the father of the two largest religion, Abraham, have committed a terrible mistake. And you can go to history and read it. It's actually recorded in the Old Testament, and anyone can read it. It is very clear he made a big mistake that we are paying price for it right now. Okay, Abraham, this is how the story goes. Abraham didn't have children. He was an old man, and his wife was an old woman, Sarah, and he had a servant given to him by the Egyptian pharaoh, an Egyptian woman. Her name was Hagar. She was his servant. So his wife, that was customary back then because they don't have lineage, they don't have children. She told him to have sexual relationship with their servant Hagar, the Egyptian woman, which he enjoyed, I'm sure. He didn't say no. Should he had said no, we would be in a different situation today. So the guy willingly accepted. She conceived. And she soon later, before she delivers, his wife, Hagar, conceived as well. So he had two women in his house pregnant. Hagar, the servant, gave birth to Ishmael first. Soon later, his wife gave birth to Isaac. And being an Egyptian, I am very sure that woman, the Egyptian woman, did not keep her mouth shut, did not say kind things to Abraham's wife, seeing that she is young and attractive and pretty. She probably wanted to kick the wife out, and she becomes the wife. Sensing that, Sarah told Abraham, get rid of her. I don't know what the words she used, but practically kick her out. I want her out. He obeyed. He doesn't want headache. He's an old man. He doesn't want the headache. So he got rid of the servant and her son, kicking them to the desert of Arabia. This, you may say, it was a death sentence, and this is the split. This when the split between Arabs and Jews took place. The hate started there. That was a huge mistake by the father of the two faiths. I don't care what the Muslims say. I don't care what the Jewish people say. That was a huge mistake. Because if the father said, no, this is my son also, he will stay with me, will stay on my land, in my home, in my house, and I will take care of him. The two sons are my sons. We wouldn't see the problem that it is happening today in Gaza. So she left to the desert of Arabia. She actually almost died, according to the Islamic story. Well, I wouldn't doubt it. You are talking about vast deserts, and she with a young boy, no food, no water. I think in the Old Testament it says that he gave her supply of 1 day of food and water. So anyway, that was a huge mistake that we are paying for today. Later on, from the Isaac lineage, Isaac's side, we, according to the Jewish and Christian tradition, we get all the prophets and messengers until the coming of Jesus, until the Messiah came. All Jews believe until John the Baptist, who was related somewhat to Jesus, these are all of these people until John the Baptist are prophets and messengers. They don't believe Jesus was the Messiah. But on the Christian, they believe the continuation of all the Jewish tradition continued until Jesus. They believe in Jesus. Okay? That was the tradition until this time, that the prophets came from this lineage of Isaac. Suddenly, 600 years after the coming of Jesus, we find another person came from the lineage supposed to be of Ishmael. He said, I'm a prophet. I'm a messenger of Allah. Accept me. The Jews who couldn't accept Jesus, who is from the same lineage, most likely they will not accept this guy who's coming, who's an outsider. As a prophet. You can't be a prophet if you are out of this lineage, out of Isaac's lineage. So they couldn't accept him. He wanted them to accept him. Why? If you read the Bible, the Quran, he really in the beginning, he wanted the Jewish people more than the Christian to accept him. Far away from the influence, because the Jews had a lot of money and a lot of influence. Far from the money side, he knew very well that the very root of Christianity, and Christianity was well established 600 after Jesus' death. Christianity was well established in the world and was leading the world. The root of Christianity, he understood, it's Judaism. And if he can control the Jewish people and Judaism, he can control Christianity. And he can control the whole world. Of course, having the money also will not hurt. That will be an advantage. But the Jews did not accept that. You're an outsider. You can't be our prophet. And from there, the resentment continued. The resentment started with Abraham when he separated the two sons. Now, Muhammad came, but he wanted unity, but based on his own thinking. But didn't happen. So what happened since then? The Arabs, the expansion of Arabs. The Palestinians, if you read their history, they came from Crete, and they were fishermen. They stayed on the Mediterranean Sea to fish. There were some problem between them and the Jews who lived in this area for a long time. But somehow they learned to live together. When Islam came, a type of marriage happened between the Palestinian and the Muslims. The Palestinian thought, because the Arabs have army, they have physical strength. If we become Muslims, then we can get rid of the Jews. And the Muslims had the same thought. They want to destroy Judaism. Muhammad couldn't convert them to his teaching, so now if we get rid of them, it's easy to manipulate and control Christianity, because once you destroy the root of Christianity, which is Judaism, you have to admit that the roots of Christianity is Judaism. If you destroy the root, it is very easy to destroy the branches. And then you can lead the world. You can take total control all over the world. Unfortunately, the Palestinians, they fell into that trap. Okay, I know there are many Palestinians, Christian Palestinians, who didn't accept that. They were Christian and they stayed Christian. But many Jewish and Christian Palestinians accepted that stuff when it came. Why? Let's get rid of the Jews. That was Muhammad's idea. I spoke in the last video about that. Muhammad wanted to destroy mainly the Jews. There are few people called the chosen people of God. You get rid of them and you establish yourself as the chosen people of God, Muhammad and his gang. Palestinians, you accepted this. You had a marriage with this ideology. Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, all of them are based on Islamic and Quranic and Muhammad's ideology. You accepted that. So it's not really about land. It is not. It's about the removal of the faith. The Jewish faith. They want to get rid of the Jewish faith so that they can lead the world towards what? Total destruction or read the Quran. It will be worse than communism. I mean, look at North Korea, how it is run. The big boss says one word and it cascades down to everybody. Everybody has to say, yes, sir. That will be Islam, if not worse. And the Palestinians and the Arabs, I'm sorry, North Africa and all these countries, you accepted this ideology. It's a curse. In my opinion, it's a curse. You accepted this curse, deal with it. It's not that I'm happy to see Palestinian children hungry or injured or killed. No. But unless you think and make a decision that this ideology never went anywhere and established peace, but rather destruction. Tell me of one single Islamic country, well, we may say Indonesia or Malaysia, these countries, it was actually influenced by merchant. It was never invaded physically. Okay, but the countries that was conquered by Islam, none of them is enjoying peace. Okay, Saudi Arabia now understood that very well, and they are coming out of that. Even though Islam started there, they knew they have to come out of it. Otherwise, there will be a destruction coming soon. Look at Yemen, look at Syria, look at Sudan, look at Libya, and even the countries that it's still together, like Egypt, it is hanging by a thread. Okay? You allowed this ideology to take place in your country. You allowed this, and you convinced yourself this is a religion from God. Okay, you keep believing that, I'm sorry, you will pay you will continue to pay the price. This is a curse on Gaza, and the result is showing. We thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you.